You all. Thank you for joining me inside my Facebook group, the Aligned, Empowered and Abundant Academy. I thought I would do something a little bit different and do a bit of a live stream series that essentially has a theme so that we can really go on a journey together. So I've just come back from Florida, which was absolutely incredible. Just filmed my TV interview for Fox News as part of their Women of Influence segment. So if you are joining me live, let me know. If you're watching on the replay, let me know also. So so I can kind of see, what the feedback is. I was just seeing if I could tag everyone in, but I don't think I can. So never mind. If you watch back on the replay, that's absolutely fine. But the reason why I felt compelled to kind of speak to you in like a live stream series is because I had a lot of conversations in Florida with incredible women that were really heart-led, purpose-driven business owners that were kind of feeling some sort of way. They're either in the startup stages or scaling stages of their business, but really at a point where they just needed like some direction, some fresh eyes, because there is just so much BS that goes on in the online space that always makes you feel it like left feeling like you are the problem. Like if you're not making 100k months in your pants, you are the problem. If you're not straight out the gate 10k months, you are the problem. And first of all, these arbitrary money numbers always make me like just feel a little bit ick, because who said it has to be 10k, who says it has to be 20k? And I don't like to buy into any of that kind of narrative and, things outside of yourself. But, when I really reflected on that journey and we were having those open and honest conversations, 10k months really were something that kind of eluded me for the first year of my business. And I'm happy with that. I'm not even mad at it, because it was a journey that I needed to go on. If I come straight out the gate, moving from an entrepreneur into the online space and just had a huge amount of success, how would I know what had worked well and what hadn't? So then inevitably, if I reached a dip in my business, I would have no toolkit of which that I could then rely on when things do flow the other way. Because the thing is, like, we assume that, and we're led to believe that the entrepreneurial journey in the online space goes like this. But the reality is it doesn't. It's like this, it's like this, it's all over the place. It's like a roller coaster. So the more that we can be honest about that, the more that we can have transparency around those conversations, the more that we can, realign ourselves and see if that's even something that we want anyway. And maybe there's a bigger part to play. Typically when things aren't gelling or working or feeling good in my business, it's because there's a change that needs to happen, right? But equally, if there is then something that is just needs a pivot, just needs a tweak, if you can elevate yourself out of your business and equally bounce off ideas with other people, work with a mentor, then you're back in the driving seat of like solutions focused. You get out of victim mindset, you get out of it must be something I'm doing wrong mindset, and you move into, okay, something's not working, let's figure it out, let's make it happen, let's keep it moving. And that's what I wanted to kind of share with you over the next week. I'll be coming live into the group every day. It will be different times. Like, I have to be honest, I have 5 kids at home. I can't commit to a particular time of the day because I only have childcare for a couple of those days. And we all know when you make plans with small children, something always comes up. Every time I've tried to schedule out my live streams, either one of the kids is sick, the baby is being a nightmare, like just something always happens. So, but the most important thing is that you get this information and that we have this conversation. That is ultimately my goal today. So I want to keep them kind of succinct so that you can, take some takeaways and, take the parts that resonate with you right now and leave the parts that don't, because my journey isn't necessarily going to be your journey. And, equally I have to caveat that as a money mindset coach, that there is no reason why you couldn't, come straight out the gate and have a 10k month. Absolutely. Especially if you have, already got some sort of confidence, social proof, like clear focus and intention on what you bring to the table, then absolutely you can hit the ground running. But typically, we don't, and that's most people, that's the majority of people's journey. And yet the online space would obviously portray that is the opposite. So I wanted to start this live stream series and really take you on a journey with the journey that I went on essentially to hit 10k a month. So the first place I want to start with is obviously taking it right back to the very beginning. So essentially, I was, an entrepreneur. I'd left my corporate job. I was running a 7-day-a-week business. I also had other online businesses and like other physical businesses also. So I was super busy, super overwhelmed. I think I'd been in my business like a couple of years. So this was like 2017, because I was pregnant with my son, who's now 5. And I just intuitively knew, like, I'm a manifesting generator, so I'm not meant to be in the same thing forevermore anyway, but definitely not in the same way day in, day out. Like, there was just so much of my business that I'm like, I don't even know why I did this, because it was such a big commitment. We had the lease for such a long time. It was 7 days a week. It was 8 in the morning till 8 at night, and it just, no part of my energy or human design profile was meant to work in that way. Albeit I wasn't, cutting hair or doing any of the other things. I was very much working on my businesses rather than in my businesses. But it was still like, after a couple of years, I'd got into the rhythm of that, and I kind of knew what I needed to do. No longer felt kind of inspired by that business as such. It was like same old issues with the staff. I'd missed out on a lot. I'd sacrificed a lot for that business. And when I was pregnant, I'd been approached, because I was quite an active member of my local Chamber of Commerce. I'd been approached by one of the women that kind of chairs up like that essentially, that's that area of the council that helps small businesses to grow, in case you're not familiar with it. And she said, we'd really love to utilize some of your skills. Like, you're always such a great people person, like, you really obviously care about like the community in the high street, about the small businesses, and you want to impact change at a higher level. So she gave me some opportunities. Some were like working parties with the council on like the business development side, but she also introduced me to mentoring. So she gave me an opportunity to mentor some young entrepreneurial women at my local university, and I did some talks at the college and at the bank, and just really started to remind myself what I was truly capable of. Obviously I had a HR background, so I've always been super keen and interested in developing talent, supporting people to feel their best, to show up their best, and really identifying those opportunities for growth. I'm obviously spiritual as well, so I always knew about like soul's purpose and all the things. So I'd started that ball rolling, started mentoring, started coaching, and helped them to essentially build their businesses to fruition. So it was a really great place for me to kind of just see how I felt. I wasn't getting paid. There was no obligation. It was like, completely voluntary, just donating my time, but for this greater cause. So it already like started to pique my interest. I didn't even know prior to that coaching was a thing. It was like, say, something like it found me. I didn't find it. I didn't even know, wasn't even looking. And then what happened was I then obviously had my baby. And I think the universe will always, when you're not quite feeling right, if it's not where you're meant to be, like, it's going to make you move. And what happened for me was that I went into labour, had my baby, had like some personal circumstance. So the pregnancy was not by any means peaceful. And, right before the delivery and stuff, I had some personal things going on. And essentially I gave birth to my baby. They were trying to kick me out. It was like the middle of the night. I was like, can I just wait till the morning? Like, is that okay? So waited till the morning, and then my partner literally picked me up and drove me to the shop because there was an issue. And for me, like, I didn't even have 1 day maternity leave with Luciano. And I just felt like, what was all this for? I left corporate because I wanted more time with my kids. I'm supposed to be an entrepreneur. I'm supposed to have like this freedom-based lifestyle that everybody was projecting online, boss babe, hustle while they grind, CEO, like bougie bitch vibes, all the things. And the reality of being an entrepreneur is actually very different. You are like the last one to get paid. You're also, I believed at the time that was how it was. My staff were going on lovely holidays. They were having paternity leave and I wasn't. you know, my kids are stuck in childcare all day on a Saturday because it's one of our busiest days of the week. My reality was very different. And I think that for me was one of those like shit moments where I also realized there was some toxicity in the staff. So whilst I was kind of dealing with like personal issues while I was had a new baby and all the things, and a little bit distracted, my one of my senior stylists, who I thought was like my right hand lady, was actually taking the opportunity to like steal all my clients. And it was only because she actually contacted one of the mums at my kids' school and said, hey, don't come to the salon anymore, I can do your hair at your home, I'll like half the price, like da-da-da-da. That I even found out about it, because even the mum was like, well, that just feels weird, why would I do that? Like, Rebecca's a friend. So thank God she reached out and let me know, because otherwise I wouldn't have known. But intuitively I already knew, like, these aren't necessarily people that I want to be surrounding myself with, and definitely not forevermore. I definitely felt that growth in me. So it might seem a bit odd to take my journey to 10k months right back to the beginning, but I think at the beginning it's about understanding that you have value and you don't have to stay in any situation where you feel stuck. Like, you've always got options. Your business can be whatever you want it to be. And for me, I grew my coaching business very organically. It was very much from like local connections that I'd made and just identifying opportunities, just being helpful. It's really funny because I'm reading Arnold Schwarzenegger's book right now, and it's literally called Be Useful. And that was my whole mindset, my whole life. Like, how can I be helpful? Because I want to be a good person, but also like you always learn something in these situations. And that was my experience. Then I learned different kinds of businesses, and my skills were very transferable because I was a business partner in HR, which means that you have to be very commercially focused, i.e. you need to be like front and foremost like profit in mind, as well as, you know, HR is about managing people and resources and, you know, looking after the welfare. It's also about understanding like the right people in the right jobs at the right time, and that's ultimately, you know, what paved the way for me as an entrepreneur. It was understanding like, where is there an opportunity to make money right now? Where is there an opportunity to serve at a bigger level, make more of an impact, do more things? So I had a lot of transferable skills, and so therefore when I came into mentoring, it was like a natural transition. But I did go through before, like, completely ignoring like the obvious choice where I was like, well, maybe I could scale my Amazon business, maybe I could buy another shop, maybe I literally just looked everywhere else but what was actually right in front of me, which was like, what am I actually enjoying? Because I believed that it couldn't be that easy, couldn't possibly be that easy, that I can help people lean into and utilize gifts and skills that I've had my whole life and make money and actually replace the money that I was making from the shop, which was a considerable income at the time, albeit my overheads were also equally considerable to match. But to me, it's like I was like ignoring the most obvious thing. So I think when it comes to like your success in your 10k months, it really is like, what is it you actually want to do? You know, and having those conversations around the pool in Florida and speaking to the women and just making it that simple that you actually get to choose. So what part of your business do you want to scale? Like, what are you really enjoying? What are you not? Is this actually the right business for you? Is this something that you feel really obsessed with, that you could go out and shout from the rooftops about because you feel so excited to share what it is that you can do with the world? And if it is not, and you're coming from a place of like logical brain, well, this is what's going to make me money, right? This is what other people are saying are making the money, so I need to do this thing. You're never going to get anywhere with that. That's the thing. Like, I've seen so many people come and go, you know, social media managers, manifestation coaches, business coaches that are just regurgitating stuff that they've seen from their own business mentors that just don't ever really hit their full potential because it wasn't the right business for them. I am genuinely obsessed with business. Like, I've always been fascinated by the psychology of sales, why some things work, why some things don't. I'm obviously spiritual. I want to be in service. I love to be in those service-based roles. Because I love the energetic exchange of money and all the things. So for me, it was such a natural fit. It was something that I didn't mind going to networking events and talking about. It wasn't something that I felt I needed to hide or I needed to project and be a different version of me. It was like, I literally get paid to be me. I get paid to do the things that I would do anyway. So it meant that I could really get out there and equally remove my ego. So one of the first things that I did as a business coach, when I really felt like, right, girl, we need to get this online, we need to do it properly, this is not a side hustle anymore, this needs to be a thing, was I went and actually OBM'd for other big coaches, and I ran their launches because I wanted to master my craft. So I took away the ego that this needs to be the Rebecca show. Hello, award-winning entrepreneur making six figures, like pay to be in my energy. Like, I took away all of that bullshit, and I was like, if I actually want to deliver the best service for my clients, I need to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. I invested hard into programs that would teach me funnels, programs that would certify me as a launch strategist. I up-leveled all of my modalities. So now I've got like 7 or 8 that are super masculine, right through to super feminine. So like human design, EFT, like all of the things, because I just wanted to be that all singing, all dancing mentor for my clients. I didn't want to feel like that could potentially be a really great option for you, but I don't know anything about that. Like, that never felt good. I wanted to have all of the information for myself so that I could treat each client as an individual and give them all of the information that I felt was relevant and aligned to them and really played into their natural skill set, even before human design. Like, I knew that not everybody was meant to have a business in the same way. So I think that that's kind of where I'm going to leave it today, is for you to really sit with yourself and decide, is this business what I want to be doing? Is this connected to my soul's purpose? Is it something that I feel really passionate about? Does it feel like a natural extension of what I would be doing anyway? Am I excited to talk about it to other people? And if you're not, then that's like the first step that you need to really look at and really reflect within as to how you've got to this point where you're running a business that doesn't really feel that aligned to you. Is there an element of fear coming up from you, i.e., if I don't do this, then there won't be anything else. If I don't do this, I won't make money. Because there's just so much abundance and so many options out there. There's so many ways that you can monetize your gifts, and you have so much value to share with the world, and you only need to be like 2 steps ahead of anybody else in order to add value to their day and to their life and receive compensation for that. So, business is very simple at its core, but that was kind of the first, I think, hurdle that I needed to get over, was really, bringing myself in alignment with the business that I wanted to actually create and become my life's work, my legacy. I had a lot of mindset stuff that needed to be unpicked around what it meant to be an entrepreneur and what business was supposed to look like, and all of these shoulds and coulds and all the things. And then really give myself permission to appreciate the value that I bring to the table and commit to mastery on that. So obviously, if this is something that you are interested in, this gentle, soulful, aligned business building method, strategy, community, values is really something that feels like, yes, speaking to my soul right now, then I would love to make you an invitation to come and join me inside the Aligned, Empowered and Abundant Academy this week, because it is my signature business building academy, and it is just the gift that keeps on giving. There's so many strategies in there, there's so many ways to connect and create abundance in all areas of life, not just business, but also there's a really fabulous community of women that are there to support and champion you every step of the way. Plus, when you join this month, you will also get access, a free complimentary ticket to my in-person event, which is happening next month, our Christmas CEO brunch, which is, again, bringing all the vibes and all the fun, and just allowing you to connect on a deeper level. Plus, there is another bonus where you will also have free access to my Women in Business Networking community, which is the Little Red Book Society. As part of that journey with us, it's like we're also getting you out there and in front of potential ideal clients to really grow and scale your business. So I'm going to pop the link below. If that's something that is interesting to you, then reach out, send me any questions, let me know if it's a hell yes. I would love to support you for the next 12 months to really, just grow and evolve your business into the most aligned, abundant and empowered way possible, hence the name. But yeah, I look forward to catching up with you tomorrow. Let me know any of your takeaways, let me know any of your thoughts on this, let me know if any of it is resonating with you about this absolute BS that is online, that you just know it's disingenuous. and you're fed up of the complications, the smoke and mirrors in business, and you just want it to be simple and easy, let me know.